friends, it's Amanda here, and yes, I am back with another BYOP video, another one that is not in my Zodiac series. I'm sorry, I know a lot of you guys are waiting for the Earth and the Air sign palettes. Those are coming, but I am so excited for today's video because it was inspired by and sort of in collaboration with another YouTuber who I just absolutely love her channel. Of course, I'm talking about Hannah Louise Poston. Hannah was recently in a video with my friend Angie, who does an amazing series, among other things, about new makeup releases. I always watch Angie's new makeup releases videos, and I was really excited to see that she was filming it with Hannah. In that video, Hannah talked about wanting a grungy rainbow palette, really focused on like tertiary colors, jewel tones, just something that was a little bit more layered, more gritty than all the really bright, colorful rainbow palettes that we always see. And I was very inspired by that. I actually started designing this palette while I finished watching that video. I'm gonna link that video below. Of course, I'm gonna link Hannah's channel, Angie's channel. I spoke to Hannah and she said that she actually made her own grungy rainbow palette too. So we're gonna upload our videos on the same day. So I'm gonna link her grungy rainbow palette as well. I have no idea what shade she chose, what hers looks like. So this video is sort of a collaboration with Hannah. It's definitely very inspired by her idea. You guys know I love ColourPop palettes. I love designing, curating palettes for you. I get really excited and I just start feeling really creative when I start putting colors together, putting textures together. And when something really sparks that creativity, I make a palette. So this is my take on the grungy rainbow idea that Hannah and Angie were discussing in that video. I took that idea and I really sort of put my own palette preferences stamped onto that idea. If you've watched my other BYOP videos, you know I really value having a balance of mattes and shimmers. This palette is 6 mattes, 6 shimmers. That's just like my sweet spot. I also like to have a good amount of contrast, some deep shades, some light shades. I really want some good transition type of colors. I want all of the colors to fit the theme, but I also want every single shade to make sense within the context of the palette so that this palette could actually be useful. And I think I really achieved that with this palette. I think this is definitely what I think of as a grungy rainbow. There's a mix of textures, a mix of colors. There's a lot of contrast in here. There's no really primary rainbow shades. I really tried to stick with those grittier jewel tones, something with a little depth, a little bit of funkiness to them. I wanted to make sure that there were some good transition shades, and I think that we really have that in here. Even if you didn't want to do a super bold rainbowy look, I think these are the kind of colors that anyone could be comfortable with, anyone could be inspired by and sort of experiment with and come out with a ton of different great looks. I know I've had a lot of fun playing with these shades. I did my idea of like a grungy, colorful smoky eye. Those are all words that don't usually describe my makeup style, but I actually love how this turned out, so I will do a tutorial for this look as well. First, I want to go ahead and show you all of these shades swatched together so that you can see what they look like applied to the skin and see really how we're getting a rainbow, but it's just a different kind of rainbow. I did choose to leave out blue. I experimented with having a blue in here and it just made it go a little bit towards that primary color scheme. So instead I have Wishful Winking, which is a duochrome shade. It's sort of a bluish green, but it also has that brown underneath. So it's still a grungy shade, but it's still colorful. I felt that it just fit perfectly in here, so that's sort of what I have in place of a blue. Now I'm going to show you the palette up close with all the shade names on top. This is the time when you want to take a screenshot or pause and write down the names if you're interested in any of these shades. On the top row we have Crisscross, Peace of Mind, Going Steady, and Paradiso. The middle row is Labyrinth, Silver Lining, Hung Up, and Wishful Winking. And the very bottom row has Paper Tiger, Night Show, Tea Garden, and Team Captain. I really designed this palette from my own collection based on what I felt fit right, made the perfect palette, made the perfect combos that I wanted. So I did not check to see which of these shades are in stock. Frankly, by the time this video goes up, that will have changed anyway. If any of these shades aren't currently available, just bide your time, use your patience. ColourPop constantly brings shades back onto their site. The last BYOP sale they had, they brought back like 12 shades that we hadn't seen in a really long time, and they didn't make an announcement, they just showed up on the site. So if there's anything in this palette that you're not seeing on the site, wait for the next sale. Keep your eye on their site because these shades are always popping in and out. And people always yell at me in the comments if I use shades that are discontinued, but you know, if you can't find this exact shade, you probably have another single shadow in your collection that's close enough that you can sub into even from another brand. I'm just making use of what I have in my collection, so you can definitely do the same as well. Now that you've seen all the shades I have in my grungy rainbow palette, let's take a look at this grungy, colorful, smoky eye look that I created using shades from my grungy rainbow palette, and then I'll wrap up all my thoughts at the end. I'm going to start with the same eye prep that I always do. First, my favorite eye base, which is the MAC Paint Pot in the shade Painterly. Then just setting that base a little bit with my MAC Next to Nothing powder so that I have a nice smooth surface to blend on top of. I'm going to be using Labyrinth for my transition shade. So I'm going to take that and really gently start to build it up in the crease area. I'm going to start building some color down below, so I am pulling this Labyrinth shade down just a little bit so that I have a really good transition space to work in. Then I'm going to take Going Steady, and I'm using a much more pointed brush to apply this just below my crease area. Then I'm going to go back with my original crease brush and just blend both of those shades together. Try to really build up that color, but make sure it stays sort of soft because we are going to get quite smoky with this look. Next, I'm taking Hung Up, which is a dark purple metallic, and I'm using my ring finger to tap that all over my entire lid, just building up that pigmentation. Then I'm going to go back with a mixture of my two crease shades, Labyrinth and Going Steady, and I'm just going to really blend all those colors together right there in the crease. Next, I'm going to take Silver Lining, this little matte purple shade, and I'm just going to smoke that out all along the lower lash line. I am not being shy with this shade. I am going quite a bit bolder than I usually do. Then for my inner corner highlight, I'm using this shade called Tea Garden, which is a really cool kind of dirty green gold duochrome shade. And for even more green duochrome, I'm going to take Wishful Winking just on my finger and tap that in the center of my lid and then blend outwards. Curled my lashes and added some of my CoverGirl Exhibitionist mascara. That's my finished look. I love it. I love how this is grungy. It's still colorful but smoky. It's a little bit different but not really hard to achieve. It's really technique-wise in my comfort zone, but just such a fun, funky combination. Even though this eye look is out of what I would normally wear, I don't feel like it's that far outside of my comfort zone. I love the way it turned out. I always love being inspired to try new color combinations. And 9 times out of 10, when I step out of my comfort zone, I end up being really happy with the results. So I definitely encourage you to do the same. I would love to hear your thoughts on this grungy rainbow palette. What would you include in your version? Make sure you go check out Hannah's video as well. Hannah, thank you so much for this inspiration. This was such a fun little project and I just really enjoyed working on it. I'm always inspired by the other creators in this space. And even though Hannah and I do really different types of content, she does a lot of low buy, no buy, decluttering, very much curating her collection. And I'm really doing a lot of new product reviews, preview, release type of things. I think that she and I, while our content is very different, we have the same goal, which is we want to encourage our viewers to have products that they really love and work well for them and make them happy. That's why when I'm reviewing things, I'm not like, oh, I'm obsessed, you need this, go and buy this. I almost never say that. I'm giving you information so that you can be empowered to make good choices when you're buying. And I think that's what Hannah's goal is too. It's such a cool thing that two creators with really, really different styles of content can have so much overlap. If you don't already watch Hannah, I highly recommend it, especially those of you who do not tell me that you hate my voice, because I think she has a very even toned, like soothing voice, and I like to listen to her a lot. Is that weird? I don't know, maybe it is. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Like that. She was recently, there's not enough caffeine in the world for me today. There's really not. Hi. Which is a duochrome shade? Duochrome? Killing it. Be patient, please. Calm down. Okay. I'm literally sweating. Like, I'm wearing a hoodie. Why? Do I have pit sweat? No, not yet, but it's close. 1,000,000 degrees, and yet I still have a hoodie on. But that commitment to matching, though. I mean, you guys know I love to match my nails to everything. So, like, hoodie, manicure match. It kind of matches. It goes with my eyes, too. I'm just... Is it fall yet? Obviously, I want it to be with this color combo. Every time I have duochrome shadow on my eyes, I get very distracted by my eyeshadow. Anyone else? Just me? No? Yes? No? Okay. All right. I'm gonna go. Okay. Bye-bye now.